Hello, friends, and welcome to Animal Wall Art News. This is Carrie, your host, and today's top story is Feedlot Phil. We're also going to have some local weather, local news, and an update on those monkeys, those heavily drinking monkeys. So, back to the top story, Feedlot Phil. So, there's this big feedlot out west, like many of them are, and there was, what is it, tens of thousands of cows on this lot. And there was this one particular cow, Feedlot Phil. It was a little different from most of the other cows, you know. He was born there. He was born in the mud, which, it's kind of gross. It's like mud and poop is their substrate. But, they get three squares, they get shelter, they get sunshine, they get girls. It could be worse. And the food isn't that good. It's not fresh grass, but it's cornmeal. It keeps them, of course, some kind of corn mixture. It keeps them fed, So he's got no worries, but he's got no freedom. It's not a great life, and he wants out. There's also, there's some clanking of the gates. There's kids that come and visit him. There's humans that come and visit him. It's not a terrible life, but it's not a good life either. And Phil, he sees out in the distance. He can see trees and he can see grass, even though he's never touched any trees or grass. He just instinctively knows he wants to be out there. So, he's just thinking these thoughts and hanging around the feedlot for a while. He gets used to the systems. He knows when the guys are coming and going. There's kind of a routine. They come early in the morning, they come at dusk. So they also have like, so many cows that they move them around a lot. So they go from here to here in between gates. So everybody has their section. So you might have a girlfriend or something. She ends up, you never see her again. She ends up, it's tens of thousands of cows and she might end up way on the other side. So Phil's like growing up and he's learning all this stuff and everything. He's like, I want out. He's like, I want to get over there on that grass. I'm getting to that grass. You can't take everybody with him. He realizes that there's so many of them. It would never work out. How do you organize that many cows? So he gets a few of his friends together. It takes him a while, but he finally gets down to him and seven others. So there's the seven cows, eight including him, and they decide they're going to get out of there. So their first move is to make sure that they never get separated when they start doing the segregation. When they start moving the cows around. Then they move them around by age and gender and different things. So anyway, they try to stay together and they do good. They just kind of keep together no matter what. And then Phil's like, I'll tell you when it's time. I got this down. I got this down. I know all the sounds and we're going to make a bust for it. Just be ready. So, he watches for a while and he tells all his other cows, the seven cows, he's like, all right, tonight's the night. When that farmer comes in his truck, as soon as we hear the truck, you make sure you're near me. And I'll go first. But we're going to pound through that gate and we're getting the heck out of here. So the farmer comes down or whatever, the farmer's hand comes down, he opens the gate, and yes, Phil and his friends escape. They get out. It's a success. All eight of them. Not nine, not seven, just as he planned, eight of them. And they just run as fast as they can to the tree line. And they just run and run and run. And the guy does go after him with his truck, but it's one guy in a truck and he can't get through the trees, so he kind of gives up after a very short time. Well, Phil and his friends are rummaging around in the trees. They're having a great time, but it's also really scary. It's dark. They don't know where they are, but they just kind of meander around through the trees for a little while. They're afraid to come out that they'll get trapped, but they don't want to stay in there too long either because the farmer's going to come back with help probably. So he wants to get out of there. So they wait a little while and they finally come along and they walk around the rim of the trees and they get down to the main road. So now they're walking the main road and they're just walking and, they're trying to have a good time, but they're all scared too. And they're eating grass and everything and they end up right under this sign about abused cows. Right. And so they're up there by this big billboard about abused cows, come to the cow sanctuary or whatever. And here comes this truck and Phil gets scared. So do the other cows, they see the truck, but there's nowhere to go. There's just grass, the sign, the road. Where are they going to go? They're not going to move faster than the farmer. But the farmer goes up there and it's not the same guy. He goes up there and he's like talking to the cows. He makes them feel more secure. And he's like, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to save you cows. So he does. He actually gets all the cows all roped up and he starts walking them down. Apparently his farm isn't that far. And he walks them down. He gets them into his nice little pen. And he gets in his truck and then he comes back with a truck. He loads them all up into like the massive truck, the cow truck. And he brings them down to his real farm, which is, again, just a few more miles. So he actually petitions for ownership of the cows, and he's got those cows now. He saved them. He saved Phil, Feedlot Phil, and his seven friends. And you guess who it is? It's Old MacDonald. Old MacDonald with all his problems with his cows. He's going to try again. Thank you, Old MacDonald.
I love cows. Now I know I've had some troublesome events over the last few years, but I would like to start fresh. And these cows need someone to care for them. That's me.
All right, update on our monkeys. The monkeys that were started off in Anarchapulco and were last seen around Swift Transportation. I think it's in Tijuana. Anyway, they've been spotted in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. And people, we have the tip line, and please do call in. It's 555-400-1212. No monkey repercussions, totally anonymous number. However, we get a lot of false reports too. And they have been reporting squirrel monkeys, capuchin monkeys, and those are much smaller than the monkeys that are our monkeys. Our monkeys, they could be different species, but mostly we've noticed that they were vervet monkeys, which are a little bigger. They're definitely faster. We need fat. That's the other thing. The little monkeys couldn't be keeping up with these monkeys. They're just, until they got the truck, of course, but they're just going too fast. So these vervet monkeys are known for alcoholism, speed. They're big. They're bigger monkeys. They're not that big. I think they're like 27 pounds for a male and like only 15 for a female, but still substantial. It's bigger than a spider monkey. I think those are only 5 pounds or something like that. Anyway, these are vervet monkeys, and there's only been a few sightings in St. Louis, and there's actually, I'll put some cards at the end of the video, or maybe I'll put them here. There's other videos if you want to see it in the actual news that they are out there and see what they look like. But there's also another link I got to the monkeys drinking. But these are our monkeys. These are the vervet monkeys, the way you could tell them, except for them being fast, and they're red. They're red. And we should have known. We should have known all along that they would be vervets because what do they say? Las pelirrojas siempre dan problemas. It's always the redheads. So anyway, if you see those monkeys, again, the number is 555-400-1212. Give us a call. All right, so now a word from our sponsor, who is me. Hey, we Animal Wall Art. So I sell retail mostly on this channel, but we do business too. We do cards for business. I did some Christmas cards this year, and I'm looking to sell some other year-round cards. We do door hangers, we as in me, as maybe a friend. Door hangers, we do reminder cards. You want to send an appointment reminder or just remind somebody you're there. Thank you cards, graduation. Give us a call. Give us a contact down below. In the show notes, you have all the contact information, or animalwallart.com. All right, weather. Same old, gonna be cold. Next week, same as the last week. It's a little colder this week, but at least there's some sun. There's some sun. It's hopeful. And in local news, finally, local news. So downtown, where is it? Downtown Sassy, we have a new place. It's a new restaurant in the same place where a new restaurant goes pretty much every year. Bless their hearts. Yeah. I don't know why you picked that location, but it's there, and people have been screaming for it. You're crying for it. You keep begging for somebody to open that place. Well, it's open. If you've been screaming and crying about we need development, go down there and support them, okay? Okay, Downtown Sassy, brand new restaurant. They've only been open a few weeks. And, well, actually, they've been open about a month, but they just extended their hours. So go check them out. All right, that's it for Animal Wall Art today, this week. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. See you next week.